Welcome back to Killer Fun. I'm Christy, and today I have the bonus episode for Pull Out the Telephoto Lens for this long shot, which was our episode all about the fascinating documentary Long Shot on Netflix about a man falsely accused of murder and how the show Curb Your Enthusiasm played a part in his exoneration. These are the few things that didn't quite fit, didn't quite go, that were too long or a little too off topic, but still absolutely worth taking a listen. We have flubs because we always make flubs. It just happens. We have a huge compliment that Jackie gives to my husband. We have confusion over who won the ball game in Long Shot. There's some strong opinions on macadamia nuts and some controversial thoughts on Jack Black's career choices. Enjoy.
I like Seinfeld.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I think your husband's funnier.
No, oh.
I do. I think your husband's funnier.
Delighted.
I like he has, how do I say this? Not that I dislike Jerry Seinfeld and not that I dislike the show. I kind of thought it was funny. I never was obsessed with it the way I was other shows, but how do I say this? Jerry Seinfeld has a humor about him, whereas your husband has a bit more of a wit.
Oh,
and so
fair.
I lean towards wit.
Okay.
Rather than just a joke.
Right.
And so,
yeah.
So in my opinion, he's funnier.
Oh, well, he'll be delighted to
I'll
hear
get
that.
brownie points.
You sure will. Yay. Well, and Jerry Seinfeld's not a very good actor. And I think he's the first to admit that. I mean, I kind of love that he cannot keep a straight face. In the show, you're like, you can tell the people doing the filming are like, this is the best take we're going to get out of him because he can't not laugh at this.
Right. Because he's humorous all the time. He's never, right?
Yeah.
Well, and like he has that show, Cars and Coffee.
Riding in car. No.
Celebrities riding in cars and coffee.
It's in cars getting coffee with comedians.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. Cars, coffee, comedians. It's all about their little banter, and they're always very delighted with themselves.
Yeah, see, and I find that very fun.
In some episodes, I find very funny, and other episodes, I'm like, you like doing this more than I like watching it. Yeah. And so, since this is really about a show, you could have maybe just gone out, the two of you, that day and had a great day.
Yeah.
I didn't need to watch it.
Well, yeah.
But then you get people like Barack Obama on there, who, by the way,
God. That was
hysterical.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny.
He has a wit. And see, that's what appeals to me. It was every time he's with somebody who has more of a wit, who can kind of say something without cracking it up. I think those people are funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. Mm-hmm. That's fair. All right. So shall we
I should have written it down. What? I thought I'd remember the final score.
Oh,
because
11-4.
Oh, you wrote it down?
No, I watched it
You watched it twice. Because the Braves won.
Yeah, no. The Dodgers won. They played the Braves.
Yeah, they played.
Going into the ninth.
We lost it. Okay, so lost in overtime. Yeah. I couldn't remember. Yeah, no, because I was about to say the Braves won. I knew the Braves won.
No, the Dodgers won.
I'm pulling it up right here. May 12th, 2003. Braves won. I mean, it's my team. Are you kidding? At the end of it, I was like, well, I'm glad he got off on murder, but I'm also kind of glad that we won.
But he was all excited because it was over.
Well, yeah, because he wanted to go home. He did talk about the fact that because it was a long game. Mm-hmm. It was a long game because they had gone into overtime. They were in the ninth inning. And it was like getting late, and she was calling him, and so all he wanted to do was kind of wrap it up, and but yeah. But I'm a Braves fan, and the Braves are doing fabulous right now, so we have to mention this. Like, that's
right ahead.
But I couldn't remember the actual score. I knew the Braves had won. So,
I really thought the Dodgers won.
Yeah,
they kind of glossed over. They said the score, but they kind of glossed over.
They kind of glossed over, but
okay,
yeah, but,
okay,
yeah. So,
all right.
I even have the stats. I pulled it up on Baseball Reference.
That is all you, sister. When they arrest Mario, of course, and his other friend, whose name I don't know.
I don't remember.
Jose Ledesma. Ledesma, that testify that they're the shooter. You don't like
Whatever.
macadamia nuts?
I don't like macadamia nuts.
I'm sorry. I've just never met anybody who didn't like a macadamia nut
that's
before.
True. I don't like lemons and I don't like macadamia nuts. Isn't that funny?
It is funny.
I like them if they're ground up into the cookie. Like, you know those $250 cookies or whatever?
Yeah.
Then I like the flavor in with all the other nuts.
Okay.
Like I can see, like I like those cookies, but like a white chocolate macadamia, not so much. Right. So like that's so like
Sorry.
benign.
Just a little digression there.
What? What?
Like, surely she's not just pulling a macadamia nut out of the air as something that somebody might not like.
No, I don't like it. It does remind me of a Golden Girls episode.
Well, now we have to hear about it.
Well, there's this episode where Dorothy goes with Rose to start doing the Meals on Wheels, and she meets the hippie who's a recluse, and so she decides she's going to make him her little pet project, and so she's talking to him because he's completely healthy physically, but he has a mental disorder. He is a reclusive and he has agoraphobia. He doesn't want to go out. He's very anxious, and she's like trying to talk to him, but the whole room that he lives in this place is like straight out of 1960s and not holding up well. It's just horrible. Right. So then as she's talking to him, Sophia walks in and looks at the room and looks at this guy who is a little, and she goes, "Who's the macadamia?"
Oh,
who's the nut? That's funny.
Aww.
And so I don't know. I didn't like macadamias before that.
And that didn't help matters at all.
It's the insane cookie.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Good to know. I'll keep that in mind. All right. So
yeah,
okay.
I was
and
sort
I
of
like Jack Black. He's one of those. He's contentious character in his choice of roles.
Yeah, you're gonna love him in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not only I think does he do a good job. He just does a good job.
He's just funny.
But
people fuss about Shallow Hal. I loved Shallow Hal enough to buy the DVD.
I thought it was funny too.
I thought it was really funny.
Actually the kind of thing that I typically might be kind of about, but I actually thought it was great.
Well, just everybody was like lovely and endearing, and then he saw her for the way she like actually literally physically looked, and it still loved her, and I thought that was kind of beautiful, and I'm like, oh, that's great. And people are like, well, he only fell in love with her because I'm like, well, he was Shallow Hal. That was
the point.
The whole point of the movie.
I'm sorry, but if you don't like Shallow Hal, then you also can't like 10 Things I Hate About You. You can't like any of those about the girl who's all in the ugly, and then then they turn into the beautiful swan, and then get the football player. I'm sorry, but you can't like any of that if you don't like Shallow Hal.
You're not allowed to like Grease.
You're not allowed to like Grease. You're not allowed to like anything.
No.
Just kidding.
You're not allowed to like anything.
Not anything. Just be fair.
Right.
Just be fair.
So,
Bernie.
You're
Love it.
All right. We hope you enjoyed those few things that didn't quite make it into the episode. Stay tuned because I'm going to have a quick promo for another Forge Audio podcast. They're doing a special Halloween series over on Predictocast. You should absolutely check it out. It's going to be fantastic. And then join us next week when we talk about Bernie, the 2011 or 2012, depending on where you look, because it was sort of a high-profile independent film, all about the true story of a funeral director who kills his elderly companion. And it's way more lighthearted than it sounds, but also absolutely devastating because it's based on a true story. So do join us. We have a lot of fun with that, and we will talk to you soon.
Predictocast has been trapped inside a spooky, potentially haunted movie theater by a madman who is forcing them to record episodes on scary movies they know nothing about. They've been promised a grand reward if they survive the month. Will they? Tune in to find out. Predictocast is available wherever you listen to podcasts.
Forge Audio. Dream it.
Build it.
Share it.